He posted on Instagram on his story, "And don't think I wanted to leave." So Detective Matt putting two and two together here, he was forced out. Now here's my question. Okay, if he didn't want to leave and he was happy there, why was he forced out? When I first saw this was my exact reaction. Really? What? Are you serious? How do we already have drama in College Station? How is Jimbo Fisher and this Texas A&M football team already having trouble with their players in its spring? I am asking a genuine question. I don't have too many sources in College Station, so if you're around the area or if you're a Texas A&M fan, let me know in the comment section. Is the program in that bad of shape? And I don't want just a yes or no simple answer. I want somebody to explain it to me around the area. We're going to talk all about that in today's video. Allegedly, according to this Texas A&M star player, he's being forced to leave the team and enter the portal. Here's a fun fact for you. All four of their top corners in that 2022 class, they've now left the team. I thought we was done with this A&M drama. It was just a bad year. We're going to move on in 2023, but apparently not. My bad for thinking so. We're also going to talk a little bit about Deion Sanders, what he's done at Colorado recently. And what I'm talking about is he has officially sold out the spring game. And our other minor topic is I told you guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about ESPN's top 25 rankings, and we're going to check out some of these comments. It's going to be a jam-packed video. There's a ton of stuff going on in the college football world. We're also going to make another video tonight. Stay tuned for that. You already know the intro. If you like the content, it's simple. Subscribe. If you don't like the content, be a weenie, be a loser. Don't subscribe. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Yesterday, I showed you the ESPN rankings. I gave you my opinion, and we react to it. I'm going to show you a picture right here so you can get a refresher. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is going to be our first topic because I don't want to speak on this too long. We'll talk about it for about a minute or two. If you haven't heard my original opinion and thoughts on this top 25 list, go watch the previous video from yesterday. I'm not going to sit up here for 6 to 10 minutes again and go over it. You know how I feel. I don't agree with it. And it's not just one part of this list I don't agree with. There's many things that are wrong with it. There's so many questions I have, including why is Texas in the top 5? Why is Ohio State number 1? Why is Georgia not number 1? Why isn't Tennessee in the top 10? Why is Oklahoma, who struggled last year, at number 11? And why is Florida and Texas A&M in the top 25? And that is just some of my questions. Anyways, continuing along here, I asked you guys, let me know your thoughts down below, and Ralph Sims said, Kirby Smart is somewhere in Athens smiling about these rankings, and I agree. If I'm Kirby Smart, now that I think about it from that comment, this is best case scenario. Because when you're coming off of back-to-back championships, it's hard to get your team motivated because you reached the pinnacle. There's no longer this underdog motivation and speech you can give your guys because they're number 1, and it does get to their heads. But now, if I'm Kirby Smart, you know what I'm doing? I'm going in my office, I am printing this out, and I'm putting it everywhere in the locker rooms, everywhere in the weight rooms. I'm showing my guys, and I'm telling my guys, hey, you might have went back-to-back, but people are still disrespecting y'all. I agree with that point 10,000%. Check out what Michael Thomas had to say. As a Dogs fan, I'm good with the number 3 ranking. Gives Kirby extra ammo to use for motivating the team to get this three-peat. I can see Texas at number 8, I agree with that, and I think Ewers will take a step forward this year. But we all know that these ESPN preseason rankings don't mean crap, he didn't say crap, especially with several more practices ahead and active transfer portal. That's a great comment and a really fair point. I think we all know this, we can agree. These rankings, they're horse crap. Do they matter? No. Do I take them seriously? No, but it gives us something to talk about. Let's just be honest. And oh yeah, by the way, I want to read off this last comment because it means a lot to me. R. Phillips said, Matt, you're my favorite Bama fan. Go Dogs and great show. Thank you for the kind words. Every now and then it is nice to see a good comment like that, so once again I appreciate it. It does mean a lot. And it really means more to me than you'll ever know. I'm just greatly appreciative that you and others enjoy watching the vids. I did want to share some of those comments with you guys. Now moving on to our second topic, and I don't even want to call it a topic, it's more so of a side piece. I want to acknowledge this. Deion Sanders in Colorado, they have officially sold out their spring game. I know a lot of my SEC fans, Big Ten fans, you don't care about this whatsoever, but check this out. In 2020, the spring game, 2022, the spring game attendance was 1,950. This year in 2023, they've sold out the spring game, and 45,000 people are going to be there. I don't care if you dislike Deion, you like him, you hate him, whatever. You gotta admit to one thing, the dude knows how to generate money and revenue. I can't even remember exactly the details of the contract, but whatever Colorado agreed to pay him, they're gonna make that money back in the next 2 years alone. I don't mean this in a bad way because I find it entertaining. This Colorado football team, It's like a reality TV show. It really is. I think a lot of their football games are going to break records for not just Colorado standards, but for the Pac-12. I mean, let's be real here. I'd say me and our community we've built, we're not casuals. We probably watch Pac-12 games, ACC games, etc. We're the type of people to stay up till 1 a.m. watching a Pac-12 game, but most people aren't going to do that. However, with Deion Sanders going to Colorado and look at what he's done, sell down the spring game, I think you're going to see even casuals tuning into Colorado football games, whether it's in person or just on the TV. It's insane what he's doing there. Congratulations to him. If I'm a Colorado fan, I am pumped for this season. Heck, I'm pumped for the season, and I'm not a fan. Moving along here to the main encore, the main topic, the main reason you clicked onto this video. Let's talk about what's going on in good old College Station. Blah, 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 blah. I say that because of this. I'm not going over what happened last year. It's too much. I've made plenty of videos talking about what went down last year. If you don't know what happened, well, you can go find it somewhere else. To make a long story short, Texas A&M, they paid for the recruiting class, and a lot of those players have left. End of story. Jimbo Fisher, he's a fraud. I've told you since day one he's a fraud. I've said it since he's got to A&M, and my opinion has not changed, and it never will. He's also not too smart because you got to think about this. If you are solely just paying players millions of dollars to come to your school, they're not coming to your school because they actually want to be there and like you. You know why they're coming to your school? Because you're giving them money. That's it. So therefore, when these boosters and alumni quit paying these kids or the money runs out, yeah, they're going to leave, and that's what happened. He's just a flat-out idiot for thinking paying kids to come to A&M was actually going to work out. Because I'll also explain this. As humans, it is our natural instinct to want to make a lot of money and do less work. Theoretically speaking, when you pay these kids $1 million, $2, $3 million before they even step foot on the campus, yeah, they're going to come into practice and not work hard. Why would they work hard? You gave them $1 million. There's nothing to work hard for. I guarantee you, if I gave you $2 million tonight, you'd call into work tomorrow and say, hey, boss man, I'm kind of feeling a little down. I ain't showing up. It's not just these football players. It's us. It's everybody. If you gave somebody $5 million tomorrow, they're not going to be inclined to show up to work every single day. All right. Let me stop. Let me quit ranting about that. Let's get on to what is currently happening and what's currently going on. One of those said recruits in that legendary, I'm going to put quotes around that, legendary 2022 class, some new news has came out about him. And I'm just going to jump straight into it. That news is that he came out, and this isn't a source or somebody saying this. This is his tweet. This is his Twitter account. He has came out and stated, I'm officially entering the transfer portal with 4 years of eligibility. Whoa. Hold on. Now I know what you're sitting there saying. Okay, Matt, why is this a big deal? What does this have to do with Texas A&M and them being in trouble, and what's going on? Detective Matt in the building. I went to his Instagram and checked this out. He posted on Instagram on his story, and don't think I wanted to leave. Interesting. You want to know what makes this even more interesting and fascinating than what it is? Only 2 days ago, he tweeted this out. Hey man, tell Ralph he's got a friend. Let's make that College Station trip happen. So 2 days ago, he's talking about, hey man, let's bring this kid over to College Station. Let's make his dreams come true. And then 20 hours ago, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm leaving. What? What happened 2 days ago? You're happy there, and now you're leaving. It goes back to this. On his Instagram story, he said he didn't want to leave. So Detective Matt putting 2 and 2 together here, he was forced out. Now here's my question. Okay, if he didn't want to leave and he was happy there, why was he forced out? I don't know. I wish I had the answer to that question. I'm sure we may find out in the days to come, but right now, I don't know. And I'm not really the type to make assumptions, so I want to see how this plays out. But like I showed you in the intro, take a look at this tweet. Crazy to think that Texas A&M signed 4 corners, all top 200 recruits in the 2022 class, including Denver Harris, Smoke Bowie, Marcus Groves-Kilbrew, and Bobby Taylor. And now, all of them, let me repeat that, all of them are gone by mid-April 2023. And here's the last part of this tweet I want to speak on. I really like it. Might not hurt the Aggies now, but it could hurt them later. You know what I gotta say about that last part? Yeah, it definitely can hurt them, and casuals aren't going to understand this. Your casual fans think having a great quarterback's important, a great running back, great offensive line, and having a decent defense is important in 2023. But however, I would argue and say the most important, if not the most important part on a defense, currently is cornerbacks. Defensive backs, cornerbacks, safeties, you gotta have them, especially in the SEC. They are important, man, because if you don't have them, you will pay the price. You saw what happened to Alabama up in Knoxville, Tennessee, didn't you? And it wasn't just that game. The biggest weakness for Alabama last year on defense, it was the secondary. I know some Bama fans are gonna blame it on Pete Golden or whatnot, but at the end of the day, The players were out there and they were messing up. And the thing with Alabama's secondary was sometimes they would look good, but also other times they looked terrible. It was up and down all year long. So my biggest concern for A&M is it might be the same thing, if not worse. You may have some cornerbacks to replace these guys that are leaving, but it's going to be new faces, and everybody knows this. You're not going to be an elite cornerback your first year in the SEC or any really good conference. It takes time, man. It really does. Keep your eyes on that. Now, check this out. Look at the most transfers in the offseason. At number 3, you got Oregon. Also, tied for 3rd, you got Arizona State. At number 2, you got Arkansas, which kind of shocks me. But at number 1, you got Texas A&M with 30. I got to say it. I know it's going to be cliche and corny, but at least Texas A&M's number 1 in something. I'm sorry. Anytime I'm having a bad day, I just sit there and go, well, at least I'm not a Texas A&M fan. It could be worse. And I'll try to break this down to you. I'd much rather be a Colorado fan because you have hope. You know where your football team's at. You know the current state of the program. With A&M, it's just weird, and let me explain. You're not in a rebuilding stage, but at the same time, you're not even considered a good or a great team. You got great and elite talent. You got what some people think is a good coach. I think he's an average coach. But you got a good head coach. You got a huge stadium. I think it's one of, if not the biggest in the SEC. You got a great fan base, yet you go, what is it, 8-4, 9-3 every single year? It's disappointing because every year it's like, okay, this might be the year we can get over the hump, and you don't. It is a very odd program right now, and I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts down below. But, Rebel Millie.